into the stream, maybe you haven't heard what the format is like, always going to kind of refresh that in your memory. All the way up on high ground, looked like that might have been Skype. I'm not sure if dropped in. I'm not seeing him. I believe that was him all the way up there. Number of players, though, 25 heading into the 8th circle soon, as advised. 1 elimination, 35 points. No movement here. Beta just for late game, but that's not going to pay off right now. That is going to pay off. Carrera goes down. Another one, the follow-through finds Ghost on the move. Looking for the third. The triple gets it. Exon down. 4 eliminations now for Advise. Playing absolutely incredibly. The heads up right now. You'll love to see it.
Oh, baby, a triple. Well done right there. And that was Skype up on the high ground. You saw him now just drop back down with a number of players going up, getting closer to that second placement threshold. Skype picks up Yahtzee. Mick the Beast also in this lobby. Another player who we've seen constantly in the top 5, desperately trying to get a solo spot. Because, again, this is the last week. Kazrola does get ticked over by that storm change. Again, 60 seconds if you damage someone. Random siphon coming through, and we're into the top 15 now with Airwalks on the mid-tarp and looking for more targets.
Imagine a situation you get a tag on someone and 50 seconds later they get eliminated by the storm. You get that siphon at just the right moment. Could be so clutch. The timing could be so important on that. 11 players left, 10 now as Sky goes down to the feed. Swaggy picks one off. 6 eliminations for Airwalks. Push through this wall, find a player on the rotation from behind. Back-to-back shots, takeoffs, gets eliminated. Airwalks picks up another one.
He's doing so well at finding people on the edge of the storm, getting next to him, and then just dipping out for a second. But the one thing you notice, he never dips out into the storm for longer than enough to take more than 1 tick. It does take a second to go through, and Majestic actually just picked up a triple of his own because of those storm changes. 1 player he elimed, 2 got ticked over from the storm. That should be the player potentially up on the high ground, but now we have our top 5 Airwalks. 2 builds left, is running with that campfire now, but is sitting on 7 elims. Advise all the way up on the high ground. Majestic was on the low ground with Mick the Beast. Airwalks in the bottom right-hand corner, gets traded out by Mick the Beast. Zadek drops down in the shadow form. He's not jumping around, so the player doesn't know where he is. 80 to the body. Can he find it? Pushes through with the combat. Says, I don't need a pickaxe. I'll just take your wall anyway. Brilliantly done there, but now can he win the 1v1 from the low ground? Player is 1 box directly above him. He hears it. You see the fake ramps out. He goes up, edit off the side, takes the high ground, drops down on top of 1, 2, 3. He gets it.
Literally waiting till the last second. The fake out on the ramp with just, I think he had 1 build left at the last second. So he was literally the most almost the most efficient he could possibly be with all the materials that he had left. Opts to move up a different ramp, throw his opponent off, drop in from above. Excellent high ground take, excellent push with the combat shotgun, and the victory royale. You love to see it.
Well done there from Zadek now. You see Marcotte and Fool right on the edge of the zone. An intense little 1v1 right now. Trap does go down defensively. Fool saying, I'm having absolutely none of that. You can see he wants to try and get the materials that are there. Trap does get broken on the other side by Marcotte. And now you get a nice little box fight. So this is one of the things, if you want to learn how to get good at competitive Fortnite, learn to fight from a box. Blows the whistle, says it's time to go.
The whistle to signal the push. Honestly, oh, that's very funny. Push in there. Fool gets 2 taps there. The shotgun follows through a 92 crit. Gets in the elimination. Gonna double back, pick up the rest of that wood, anything that he can top off with. Oh, shots coming in from the sides. Gonna have to wall himself off, double air, and Ops, instead of popping the minis, to shadow bomb, just because I think the fear of positioning there and exposure, maybe adding a little too much tension. Did take 1 more tap on the move. Gonna have a chance to heal up. Meanwhile, the top of this hill, thick with players. Where they stacked up, trying to make rotation here. 41. Waxy there from the stream. Trick Pog rotating forward.
Crew also in the match was second last time we saw him there. We got a number of duo qualifiers over on the side there. Players looking to get their solo spot. You see Kuma using the stink to try and force the player forward and then editing out. Boom, there goes the second one, knowing they can't stack in volume. And Quadra, that one smells. Go get yourself a gas mask. Try and queue back up.
Okay, we are sitting on 3 elims now, holding the edit. Just going to try and peek on through, deciding to apply a little more pressure. Oh my gosh, the back-to-back. The stink bombs, very lethal, especially at this point in the game. You have to realize these players understand if there's people that were caught rotating, got tagged up significantly, and didn't have the ability to heal, as will be the case quite often in games like this where you have so many people in such a tight space. there's a good chance that people that are boxed up in front of you are potentially missing HP, maybe some fall damage, maybe they got hit by multiple people on rotation. They could have been, I mean, we even saw a Shadow Bomb player get shot just moments before that, and we're about 50 HP. That is a good opportunity to just chuck the stink in there, maybe do an HP check, see if they're low, and in this case, it pays off. 2 eliminations with basically no effort. And as you said before, we're looking to get the player count down to 30 before that storm surge goes away. We're sitting at 38 above for Dave, 32 players left, so 2 more need to go down.
Oop, boxes the baller in. The baller is going to just boost right on out, says I want nothing to do with that. Now you can see on the side, Dave getting another tag there. You see that threshold number also going up. Needs to be conscious. He left that edit open, but the player, because his back is to the storm, isn't going to have time to take shots towards him. So well played from Dave. Other player pushes it, and Tripburn from Singularity kind of caught a little bit there. Seemed like he was going for an aggro play, but
I think potentially he expected Dave to not look back because, the catch. Good grab there. Tripburn, I feel like was thinking, okay, Dave's not looking at me. I'm just going to step out. I have the angle. I'm going to take the shots from this side, and ended up kind of getting clapped very quickly. Dave's reaction of rotation down there. I'm not sure how to say that name. I'm just going to put that out. It looks like a sneeze. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm not even, I normally even try and attempt on that, but we're in the top 25. Let's pay attention to the rotations. As you see, a number of players playing billiards there on the low ground, crew up on the high ground. You have WGS Jag, the player from South Korea, playing over in Europe right now. This is the most ballers I've seen in the lobby in forever.
The most ballers I've seen in the game easily this weekend.
I mean, I don't think we saw this many ballers in Europe when they were at 300 health. Europe has an affinity or like a particular hatred towards ballers rolling around.
We've made comments in the past about how they always seem to be fans of taking shots at players that are in ballers on the move when they have an opportunity to. Maybe a follow through here, the back-to-back, can't quite find it. But yeah, look at how many are left out on the field. This is a very rare sight for European qualifiers.
I mean, and it kind of compounds on top of itself because the more players who are in ballers, they aren't going to take shots at each other. And if you're not going to waste shots on baller players, you're not going to eliminate them. So, but once the explodes start coming out, that's when things get dicey because the RPGs can damage through the ballers, and with the 150 HP, 1 AR round into them and then followed by an RPG can be a ton of damage. But now Pill is just going to go to work, ignore the ballers on the low ground, running around like they're a game of marbles, and he finds Trockley and he finds Elocrats right after.
13 players left. Till in the rotation here, taking a chance to pop a mini. Does have the campfire, may or may not put it down. Not at this point. The storm's too close to his back. He's going to have to push forward. Like you said, multiple ballers are still in play, and with players not jumping out and not having pressure applied to them, you're looking at way less than 11 people. The player count remaining, that's not the number that are actually forced to engage each other right now. The people in ballers are almost being ignored. The heavy snipe from behind, and Mavjo picks up an Elim, the push inside. He realizes, look at how many people are around in the same box.
And then said everybody goes up to the sky. No Elim coming out there. So all of a sudden, 3 up, 7 down. Talazeto on the ultimate high ground. Wesley Nutt and Blackso on the low ground. Jag, ADX also on the mid-tarp. Talazeto looking for shots. Has redeploy and the flint knock. Not going to find any. So ultimate high is going to be in his control. 10 players left, but he gets challenged.
One more all the way in the high ground. Just barely lost it. The flint knock flying up above. What a play. Takes the high ground back. Has ultimate high, looking down from above, only 29 builds. Has the redeploy to catch himself if he has to jump off, if he runs out of materials, but we'll see here in a second.
Somebody else just went up.
Yep, you heard it. There it is, the fish flying past. Felizito might take a shot. The flint knock kind of gets stuck in his own box for a second. This ADX dropping in Mexi from Loot Boy in the middle of your screen there. Tolzito still has the high ground, drops down to the next tarp. Mexi building out, trying to stay in the safe zone. This is the most players we've seen in a zone this tight in a long time. The Rift.
That's one. Is one player up in the rift. So you have one player up in the sky. Talazeto on ultimate high ground. Power, Psyches, and Blackso down the low. You have Talazeto in your top right. Power in your bottom right. Talazeto looking for it, and he finds Mexi out of the sky, and he gets the Cypher. Now he's dropping down with the redeploy, looking for Psychic on the campfire, and he finds it. Gets the Siphon, and it's enough to put him over the top for the victory royale. Talazito, you are mad indeed. The 2 Elims being the swing. 12 points there. Well done, sir.
The transition of the shot with the flint knock midair into an immediate descend, the redeploy to catch himself, and then the swap to the TAC AR and spray through the build while the player was sitting on top of both campfires. 200 IQ.
That was really well played from Tolizieto. That's probably some of the best overall flintlock usage we've seen. We took high ground, I think, twice.
You did.
Going there, and then additionally picked up a sick elim on the player out of the air with that heavy shot, and then dropped down. I mean, just well done.
Literally, you were saying he was unchallenged for high ground, immediately got challenged, and then used the flintlock on a single build out to take it back and force the player to drop. Well played. Well played indeed. What a loadout for the late game, too. Anyway, 43 players left. Next game, Europe.
42 players left.
42 players remaining. I just shouldn't say it sometimes. Looking for 41 players remaining here in a second. Someone trying to pick up another one. That was the first elimination for this player this game. By the way, quick reminder, 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining. If you would like to queue in, you're in the European region, now's the time to do it. Those last couple in. This is the last week for solos to qualify to punch that ticket to New York City. Don't forget it.
And after that, there's no more solo spots. 8 more players will be advancing from Europe. We'll have 6 from NA East, 2 from NA West, and 1 coming out of Brazil. And then the solos competition will be completely rounded out. These are the final moments. Again, don't forget, we will go a little bit longer than the queue times because the average game of full Fortnite is about 26 minutes long. So need to let everyone finish up, get all of those results tallied in, because every single time it's going to come down to the last match of the server, those top point lobbies. And right now, Motor is trying to make a case to get into one of those lobbies as he's sitting in this cone looking for a peek. 42 players remaining, so again, everyone playing absurdly safe. Nobody wants to put themselves at risk, and Motor recognized that, trying to pile in on that player as Paquito and Freck get taken down, and we have our top 40, Tohaj, being taken down as well, and we're still 14 players away from the first placement threshold.
Get into the first full move circle here in a second. Circle 6 to 7, transitioning to the northwest. It'll be an interesting one, too. A number of players up on top of a hill. You see in the minimap there, that left side based around the supply crate on the map. Holding the edit here. Motor trying to look out and see if there's anybody that might squeak out. He's looking back immediately behind him. I don't know if he realizes the player up above has an RPG. Oh, he does now. If he didn't before. Surprise, there it is. A quick attempt. And the seal-off